We are back. We are back. Hustle After Life, the podcast, episode number 6. Today in the building, I got a very, very talented young brother, old art school classmate, and headwear aficionado and designer, Jason Scott from Lids Caps. Jason, what's good, brother?
What's up, man?
What's going on with your day? How's California living? California dreaming?
Oh man, it's it ain't no dream out here, man. It's the same day every day. You know, good weather. You know, but you got to hustle out here to make it. It's not like Texas, man. I'll tell you that.
Not like Texas.
Dallas.
That's what's up, dude.
No,
That's
sir.
what's up. All right, so Jason, the reason why I brought Jason on the show is because everybody wants to be in the fashion game. People want to start T-shirt brands. People want to do headwear and all these kind of things. Now, Jason's specialty and background is in headwear. And he's been doing headwear for the last, almost 15, 20 years now, Jason?
Yeah, about 20 years.
Yeah, about 15, 20 years. Okay, cool. So, Jason is on. I brought him on specifically because he is. So, let me say this. Most of my friends that are designers are just as kick-ass as I am. And I believe I'm above average. And so when it comes to Headwear Game, Jason's one of those guys. He kind of went off into the Headwear Game specifically. And so I brought him on to kind of talk about a little bit about the game and, you know, his experiences as a designer in that world and just the business side of it a little bit, you know, with design, production, and things of that nature. So, Jason, tell the people a little bit about yourself first.
Okay. Well, I'm not that young. I'm 41 years old. Been in the apparel industry for 20 years. So in that industry, there's different categories. So there's accessories that deals with like headwears, bags, sandals, shoes, you know, jewelry, pins, and then there's T-shirts, there's garments, there's outerwear. So in my 20 years, I've designed in a lot of categories. Headwear, the main category. T-shirt graphics, outerwear. I've done jerseys. I've done sandals. So I've designed bags. So I've got a pretty good list of categories that I've designed in over my career. And yes, it's been a wild ride. It's been a great ride. You know, I had some great experiences in this industry, and looking forward to more experiences as the years move on.
That's what's up then. So let everybody know. So where do you work? I know you work at Lids, but like, what's the official name for where you work at, and then what's your title over there?
So I work at Lids. So Lids is the number one headwear store retailer in the United States. I would even say the world. They got over 1,000 stores. And my official title is Director of Product Design and Development.
Okay. And I know you. So how long you been out that way?
This is a new position for me. So I just started with them in August of 2020.
Okay.
So before that, I was a senior designer at a company called Mitchell & Ness, where we did a lot of throwback jerseys and snapback baseball caps and graphic tees. So it's been a transition, but a good transition for me.
Cool.
During 2020.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So what is your as your title's so long, I forgot what it is, but so what exactly do you do over at Lids day to day?
So at Lids, so I'm pretty much the creative director. So in the apparel industry, you have design and development. So we started a new division at Lids and the company's going vertical. So when I say vertical, that means they'll be able to produce and manufacture their own headwear. We're doing our own private label brands inside the store, and so we're not really working with a vendor or a third party to make our own stuff. We're vertical. That means we do it from in-house, everything from scratch all the way to the retail store.
Okay. Do you do mostly production in the States or China, Philippines, outsource? How does that work? Do you have plants? Do you have manufacturing plants outside the U.S. or in the U.S. or whatever?
The majority of our manufacturing is outside the U.S.
Okay.
Overseas.
Okay, cool. How was the and I'll just kind of on a side question because of that. How are the tariffs things affecting that? Because I know, for me, because I do the promotional products, and so I source products a lot from China. How did that affect you guys a little bit, if you know a little bit about that?
Well, usually, like in the industry, because China, you got to think about China and the people over there. They're just like people here in the United States. So everybody's trying to take care of their family, and make a living. So I know. I have business relationships and partnerships overseas, and so when the tariffs came, companies, the U.S. companies, and at that time the company I was working for, and our manufacturing, we had to sit down and we came to a deal where we would split the tariff, right?
Okay.
Because the tariff was a big deal, like that the cost of goods went up. Some companies passed that cost of goods that was going up over to the consumer.
Okay.
And you can see it in the retail market. So and some companies like the one I was working for, we sat down with our manufacturers and we split. We did a deal where we would split the tariff costs. So. I think a lot of manufacturers and retail partners, they had to work through that because, it was it was a war pretty much. It was an all-out war, but it affected businesses, not only in the U.S. but overseas as well.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I specifically had two of my apparel suppliers hit me up. Like I got it via email. They sent like kind of a corporate email to other customers about what the tariffs were doing, how they were affecting things and cost, and kind of getting more involved on the political side as far as like who you should be talking to, as far as Congress people, to try to have a voice in that. So I did have it affects the business side of it. So let me ask you this too. So with you guys doing your own headwear, you mostly do a lot of the pro teams, right? NFL, NBA, stuff like that?
Yeah, so when I was with Mitchell and Ness and earlier in my career, I did a lot of pro team stuff. So all the NFL, NBA, NHL, college, like licensed stuff. I got a lot of experience doing that.
Okay. How does the licensing work with you guys over at Lids? Same thing? Same principle?
Yeah, so we're not really into licensing. We kind of have our vendors, so the people we work with, kind of like New Era Caps, Mitchell and Ness, 47 brand. So they're kind of in the sports licensing arena. So we don't really have to, get into that. We'll do collabs with them. Like if we want to do a special colorway or work with a popular artist or popular social media person that wants to do a collab with, a certain brand, then we'll do collabs and stuff with them like that. But licensing, is done by those other sportswear brands like New Era, Mitchell and Ness, 47 brand that carry those licensing deals. And pretty much how licensing works. So you start a company and name, XYZ Sports. Then you go to the league, say, hey, I want an NBA license. So you have to first get approved to get the NBA license, and then from there, you have to, there's licensing fees, there's royalties, on the goods that you sell. So things of that nature. So it's pretty, intense. I would say, if you're looking to get into license, like I remember back in the day, I was looking to do just local college sports, like especially when I lived in Dallas. Like I was like, oh, you need to do something like for SMU or
Right.
UNT or even Texas. CLC, which is the company that does the collegiate license. They have local licenses. So if you were a local vendor and you wanted to do stuff like just in your local town, you could get a local license to do SMU apparel or Texas A&M apparel or stuff like that. But the college game has gotten pretty intense too, especially with the Power 5 conferences, and a lot of these schools are linked up with big brands like Nike and Under Armour and Adidas. So it's just a lot that's going on in the license game as far as sports and sports licensing.
Okay. On the pro side, how does that work? Because I know, now this is from my own understanding, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. There's the team licensing, and then there's like the Players Association licensing, right? As far as like if you want to get involved, and you can do either or I guess if you got the money, you can do both. But what's the differences, I guess, so people kind of know?
So team licensing is exactly what it is, team. So if you want to do a Lakers hat or a Mavs cap, right, you would have the NBA logo as official NBA product for those teams, right? And that's a bigger deal. That's a bigger conversation. There's royalties, there's guarantees. You got to guarantee X amount of money, and that's you would have to have some cash.
Yes, I know.
Investors,
I know. I think I use virtual assistants, so I had them do the research. I think like for the NFL, just the NFL alone, I think he told me something like you had to at least be doing like, I think off the top to even be playing the game, doing like 100,000 in sales,
right,
and some other stuff like that. I was like, well, maybe I'll try the other one, but
right. So that's team licensing, right?
Right.
And then so player association. Now that deal. I don't know as far as the guarantees or the money that you have to put behind to get into player association, but I've been keeping my eye on this company called Level 500, right? And so if you look at their stuff, it's all player association stuff, but so they'll do something like a Zeke tee or a Russell Wilson tee or a Kyler Murray tee or something like that.
Right.
And but if you look at it, there's like the colors are team associated, but there's no NFL logo on it. So the Players Association is a split from the NFL, and you're just in the Players Association you can get your own deal. So if you want to use a player's name and likeness, like I don't know, Chris Paul or something like that, and
right,
you want to do a Chris Paul tee, you would go through the Player Association and again try to sign a deal and a royalty deal with them, But if you really want to do sports licensing or you want to do product for sports licensing, working directly with the team is something that any good designer that's connected and that can produce product or whatever can do. You can go to these teams that have their indoor stadium shops and they sell online, and just say, hey man, I've been thinking about doing this tee or this jacket or this cap or whatever, and you can sell directly to the team because the team owns their own rights as well.
Right.
So selling directly to the team, pitching a collection to a team, pitching an idea to a team. We used to do that all the time back in the day. I used to work for this company called Drew Pearson Marketing. So we had all the, top 5 NBA, NFL, all the sports licensing, but we would always sell directly to the team. And so we would work directly with, the San Antonio Spurs, and we would do exclusive product just for them. And then actually, thinking about it, we were we were doing the same thing at Mitchell and Ness. So we would have these team licensing deals where we would come in and design, specific things just for that team. And it was a team license deal like Lakers, whatever. And so, and yeah, we were using Lakers stuff, and we had sports license rights, but it was going directly to the team. So you didn't even really need to have the rights to work with the team.
Gotcha. Do you need a lawyer do you need a lawyer to kind of get involved in that game, or do you need a specific type of lawyer to get into that game?
I don't know, man. A lot of times, I mean, we had a law kind of people,
like a legal
lawyers
team?
or whatever. Like a legal team, right? And so they would be in charge of business development. So a lot of these companies, when you see titles that say, business development, those people at some point went to law school. They look over contracts.
Gotcha.
And make sure the deal is good. And so that's just part of a kind of a business development team.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So enough about that part of the business, the licensing side. Let's talk about the creativity. So with you being in the Headwear game, how does the creativity, like what does the inspiration come for some of the Headwear? Because I went on your site recently. I know we haven't seen each other portfolios in a while, and so you sent me a link and I was checking it out, and I was like, man, Jason got some bangers on her. I even shared with a couple of my design friends. And I was like, man, Jason got some bangers on her. So I'm like, my favorite is the pixelated hat joints you got on there. Those are just those are just fire. But what does the creativity come from for the Headwear?
Man, it's just, it comes from everywhere, man. I mean, being in Headwear, and then the broader picture of just the apparel industry, you want to stay trend right. You want to have, things that are on trend. And so, colorway drops usually come from shoes, like whatever Jordan's putting out or Nike's putting out or Adidas is putting out. You kind of just see the colors that are trending, for the upcoming season. And for Headwear, we don't really have to be super, high end. We're not high end fashion, what I'm saying? So, we're just doing stuff that looks good. And, a lot of times, your kicks and your caps, they've been married together for a long time, I think. Right. And so the shoe game is definitely like a leader as far as, getting cool colorways on hats. I mean, you'll see a lot of times with, we're flipping colors, we're flipping Laker logo colors. I've done a cap where I took the Air Mags from Back to the Future with that gray and that pink and that kind of cyan colorway and put that into a cap, and I just flipped all the NBA logos into that.
That's cool.
Or like the 8-bit,
dude, those are fire. I don't care what anybody say. Yeah. Those are classics.
Yeah, man. I mean, like that stuff is just like retro. I grew up playing stuff like Tecmo Bowl and Mario Brothers, and it's like that was an easy no-brainer. It's like, man, we got all these logos. Like I remember I used to play a game called Bulls versus Lakers.
I remember that.
And all those logos are already 8-bit. So it's just like take that, put that on a baseball cap. You know what I mean? So it comes from everywhere. I mean, like I said, I'm a little bit old school. So yeah, I'm in here talking about Tecmo Bowl and old EA Sports games and stuff like that. So right? It comes from everywhere, man.
That's what's up. All right, so now, do you have a team that works under you as far as your designers, in-house? You freelance sometimes? And how's that work? Creative team?
Yeah, so usually I'll have like, a senior and a junior designer and a production artist or whatever. I remember when I started out, I was a production artist, just learning, how to put, tech packs together. Tech packs are kind of the instructions you give to your factory to build, whatever you're making, caps or a bag or a shoe, even T-shirts or outerwear. And then, your junior designer is a person who kind of, they did the production artist. They moved up to junior designer to know a little bit more. And the seniors are kind of your vets in the league. And then, you finally get to creative directors or, product design directors. And, you kind of running the show then and there. But yeah, also working with freelancers, especially in 2020 and moving forward, I think the industry and just work in whole has changed to where, we have stuff like Microsoft Teams and all sorts of things to where you can hire the best talent from anywhere in the country. You get on a Teams meeting, you tell them what the project is, and then they just do what they do and put it in a Dropbox, or
right.
we transfer it over to you or whatever, and it's a done deal, And so, I think moving forward, how I'm gonna build, how I like to build my future team is, freelance, really creative, freelance designers who, veteran guys who
right.
Have been in the game. They know what they're doing. I'm not, and just because I'm just all about putting out good quality product, right? So,
right.
Not saying that, I wouldn't give, a young up and comer a shot because somebody gave me a shot, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking to build like a
super team.
Super team. Like,
that's how I know me and Jason run in the same circles. We think a lot alike. He just in the head where I'm in t-shirt apparel.
Yeah. So just dudes that I know that they're about to get down, and it's not a lot of talking that's going to be happening. We just going to, everybody's going to play their role and do what they do.
That's what's up. Well, hey, you know me. If you ever need some freelance, I'm always game to freelance. I just want to do cool projects. So if I can ever throw my hat in the ring, let me know, bro. You know I've got you.
Well, there's some stuff coming down the line, man. So I there's some things coming down the line that I'm working on, and it's always when you work with these bigger companies, it's always a bigger picture. So you got to ask permission to do certain things.
I know,
so
right?
You can't just like, I'm going to do this right now. Boom. And then you do it, and then it's done. It's like, okay, I got this idea. I know this is going to work. Let me get the permission to, do what I want to do. So
that's what's up. Okay, so Jason, so anybody who wants to get into the Headwear game, what should they be thinking about? What should they know to get started?
It just depends on how deep you want to get into the Headwear game. I mean, a lot has changed over the last 20 years since I've been in. I mean, there's really, like, if you just want to dip your toe into the Headwear game, like you say you have a cool logo or a cool phrase that you want to put on a cap. I've been kind of tinkering around because I help my son's school. I'm a parent, I'm a football dad. So I don't know how I ended up, but I ended up in this booster club meeting, and they were like, "Oh, we need help with our spirit wear design," and I'm just like, I'm like, well, I guess I can help these people out, do this, whatever, right?
Right.
So I raised my hand. I ended up being in charge of spirit wear. So what I did for them, which I don't think has ever been done, I think I am. I don't know. So I created an e-commerce shop for my son's football team for spirit wear. And so what I did was merge Shopify and Printful together, right?
Right.
And so what I was getting to is that if you want to dip your toe into the headwear game or apparel game, Printful is a great way to do that. You can, they have, say you had a cool logo or saying that you want to put on a cap or a tee, you can go to Printful. You set up a Shopify account, go to Printful. They got great blanks that they use. They got stuff from Bella Canvas to Champion, all the headwears there. And then you can just drop your design right on there, upload it to your e-commerce shop, and now you're officially in the headwear game. If you want to go deeper, as far as manufacturing overseas, that's a pretty big undertaking to where, there's a couple of things you would have to set up. You have to set up your business, have your EIN number, get in contact with an actual manufacturer overseas, build your product, have them produce it, they'll ship it over to you. You got to have your freight forwarder. Freight forwarder is what you use to get through customs, U.S. customs. So it's pretty intense if you're trying to, and also that's if you want to do really big quantities. Most factories I work with, they want 144 pieces or 288 pieces, and that's like their minimum. Like they're really used to doing, 1,000, 50,000 units and stuff like that. Right. So, also what I found out here in California is there's really good companies that they're not, a low end kind of, and I'm not saying low end, they're not a startup like a Printful, and they're not super high like overseas manufacturing. So there's companies here in California, and also to give a shout out to a local company right there in Keller. There's a company called Printed Threads. I've used those guys for a long time, and so they have printing, 3D embroidery. They have the same kind of, and they're really good quality. So
I'm familiar
it
with
depends
those guys.
on what kind of level you want to be in, as far as, do you want to just throw a logo on a hat? Do you want to do something a little bit more elevated, or do you want to be in really, really deep and produce and move a lot of product?
Okay, cool. That's what's up. So I'm pretty familiar with Printful. So I have an online store for Hustle After Life. And so what started out for me was, I was working so many hours, doing branding and stuff like that. I needed something personal to do that kind of took my mind away, to kind of decompress. So I was dedicated to, like, if not every day, every other day, I would do like a t-shirt design every day. But like spend like an hour, 2 hours on it, and I got like a list of ideas. So how I am. I got tons of ideas, so I'm just writing them down. But now to work on them, and then after like 30 days, I looked up and I'm like, man, you know what? I got like 30 designs, so let me throw them on the store. And so I went through the whole process of learning about Printful and a lot of the other print-on-demand companies that are out there, and I'll do a show about that. I'll do a show about that soon. And so now I got an online store, and like I have about 185 designs, and I run them through Printful. So it's been pretty cool. I know COVID hit, and that kind of screwed up production a little bit. Orders were getting out slower, but now that's kind of they're kind of back on a rhythm now. So we'll see how it works with COVID and Christmas coming up. So we'll see how that works. But
yeah, I really like that Printful thing, man. It sparked me to have other creative ideas, as far as, because as designers, like, we do really cool graphics or whatever, but then we do them, like I remember when, for me, it was like, I'd be in school and everybody would ask, oh man, can you draw me a picture of, Michael Jordan? Can you draw me a picture? And so you would draw a picture, right? And then they would take it. Well, we're all grown up now. We're still drawing pictures, right? But now we can put them on T-shirts or whatever, or hoodies, and sell them. I mean, and if you're a really creative designer, you got good design, and you want to put, put it on something and sell it. I mean, that's the way to go. Just, like a quick testimonial, like, we're just really boosting Printful right now, but it's like, man, Printful, like, when I set up this shop for my son's booster club, I set it up. We did, I took their school athletic logo, put it on some product or whatever, made it all good, put the pricing on there, and then orders were just coming in left and right. And I was like, man, this thing is making money. Like, you make money while you're sleeping. You put your design up one time, that's it. And then somebody likes it, they want to support, they just buy it, and and it's easy, So that sparked me to have more creative ideas of how I could really maximize that Printful Shopify, thing, to where you can. I mean, you literally, like, I'm not a stock market genius. I'm not even in the stock market or anything like that. But I understand that, having residual income and having another stream of income is important. And if you can have a successful online business where you're just, slinging T-shirts or caps or hoodies, and you do 5 designs and you throw them up there. I mean, that's shoot, and it's magic, man. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's nothing like when that PayPal thing go off and like, oh man, I just sold a hat, I just sold a hoodie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, do it anything. You're like sitting on the couch and it just goes off. You're
I know, right?
Look at that.
That's what's up. Okay, cool. So Jason, you read any books? Got any listen to any podcasts? What do you recommend to the people?
Honestly, man, the only book I've been, what's the last book I read? Man, I really, man, honestly, man, the only thing I'm really been really reading, is the Word of God. Like I've been really in the Bible lately. Okay. Really been just meditating on the Word and just trying to soak that up and just get more knowledge and more wisdom and more understanding. I really think this 2020 has like slowed me all the way down to right. At one point I didn't have anything but time. Right.
Right.
Things happen things happen where I was employed at, and I got caught up in that 40 million people that were unemployed. So I was unemployed at one time. Okay. This year, and I was like, man, like, I started looking around. I was like, I don't have anything to do, because a lot of times, I've been hustling and doing this for 20 years, and so you just keep going, and you kind of lose yourself, and you lose, you don't grow. My relationship wasn't growing with the Lord, and I was busy, and you're just trying to survive, and so I kind of lost myself, man, and I wasn't really growing. So I think for me, man, just in this time, I just really felt like there's been growth in me, and yeah. So, but back to your original question, that's pretty much all I've been reading. I did read a book over, during this time. I can't remember what it was. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I read a book. I'm not an avid reader.
Right. Do you listen to any audiobooks? Cause yeah, I read and I do audiobooks. And so kind of depend on where I am. So like if it's a book I really like, so if I really like the book I read, I'll get the audiobook if I can have it. That way, if I know I'm going to be doing something like 40 minutes or more, I can just listen to the audiobook to reinforce what I read. Or if it's a good audiobook that I liked, I go, let me get my hands on the actual book. That way I can go in and take notes, and highlight some stuff that I liked about the book. So kind of, and I read the Bible daily, like everybody else. Yeah. Well, not like everybody else. I read the Bible.
Are you on that Audible?
Yeah, I got Audible.
Okay, because I've downloaded that. I haven't made the commitment, like, because like sometimes I download apps and then like they'll ask for money. I'm like, man, like I don't know if I want to spend that right now.
Audible's worth it. Plus, I use it as a business experience because it's training. So I read a lot about economics, business books. I read some books about being creative, but not like a designer. Just more kind of creative thought thinking. Yeah. So I have a lot of books on that, and then I have a lot of books on personal finance. So those have been real helpful for me a lot. Because people are busy. Sometimes you can't get certain questions, and so I listen to that. And then if you're a Bible guy, I listen a lot of Dave Ramsey and Chris Hogan.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna make that commitment, man. I think you just inspired me to get on Audible. Like, I downloaded it. I was about to go in there, but then it asked me for some money, and I was like,
dude. So they have a basic plan where you can do. So I do the one. I pay like $24 a month, but I get like 2 books. I let them, and I just let them. I let the credits loop over. Then that way, if I need a book, I can just pull one out. So technically, not paying for it. Books are expensive nowadays, so the auto route is really good, especially them like the credits loop up. And they have one, I think, like $14 a month. You get like 1 book a month.
Yeah.
So it comes in handy. So if there's like a book you really want and the books are expensive, just use your credit and let them stack up, or just do a regular one. So that's what I recommend. But,
Right.
okay,
Right
so
on.
all right. So last question. So Jason, how can they find you on the social atmosphere?
I mean, if you want to, I don't know why you would want to find me on sure, but I mean, all my stuff is like super person. You know, I got
It could be lids. Hey, you can promote lids, or just they find you on Twitter and Instagram. It's up to you.
Okay, I think my Instagram is it's Scott_B free. So that's just my personal Instagram account. I'm on LinkedIn. You know, if you want to follow me there, I love making business connections on LinkedIn. So just Jason Scott. You probably look me up through the Lids company website, or not website, but the Lids LinkedIn thing as well. So yeah, those are the two social media things I'm always on, IG and LinkedIn.
Well, that's what's up then. Episode number 6 is in the books. And Jason Scott, thank you for hanging out with us today, sharing your headwear wisdom. And that's it. We out. Yo.